Yes, start. This is a dictation at the rate of 80 words per minute, and this is a special paragraph for your SSC stenographer examination preparation of your skill test at the rate of 80 words per minute. That means you have to write 800 words in 10 minutes. So get ready, all of you. Yes. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, with your kind permission, I would like to draw your attention to a very vital matter relating to the Indo-Pak agreement signed a few days back. Sir, in this House on 8th December last year, in reply to a question raised by me and my colleague about the expenditure we are incurring on the prisoners of war, the Honorable Defence Minister had told this House that part of this expenditure that we are incurring was recoverable from Pakistan. He stated very categorically that this matter will be taken up when the general repatriation of prisoners of war is discussed. Now, last week we had discussed this issue. According to the assurance given by the Defence Minister to this House, this matter should have been taken up with Pakistan, but to my knowledge and from what I can gather from the agreement as has been published, this matter was not even broached, perhaps so far as Pakistan is concerned. It has not in any way concealed what its own reaction is to this matter. I have seen press reports in which the Attorney General of Pakistan has controverted all these claims and has said that India has no right to claim any reimbursement from Pakistan. On this issue of prisoners of war, we have incurred crores of rupees on feeding them. Article 49 of the Geneva Convention of 1949 says very categorically that advances of pay issued to prisoners of war in conformity with Article 60 shall be considered as made on behalf of the power on which they depend. This is merely advance of pay that we have been giving them. I do not know what amount it works out, but it does certainly come to a few crores of rupees. We may have spent more than 25 crores in all. Maybe part of it is not recoverable, but a part of it under the agreement is recoverable from Pakistan. Sir, as late as yesterday, in reply to an unstarred question in the Lok Sabha, which obviously was tabled before these talks were finalized, the Defence Minister has said that under the Third Geneva Convention relating to treatment of prisoners of war, the power detaining the prisoners of war shall be bound to provide free of charge for their maintenance and for the medical authority attention required by their state of health. This is our responsibility. However, advances of pay issued to prisoners of war shall be considered as made on behalf of the power on which they depend, and as such are recoverable from Pakistan. Now, here is a very categorical statement. In view of this statement, if the government of India was not even broached this issue during these talks, I regard it as a very serious compromise of national interest and, of course, a violation of the assurance given to this House. What has happened, how it happened, needs to be clarified and explained to this House. Secondly, if you compare the percentage of students going in for higher education in science and arts, you will observe that the percentage of those who are going in for science is still not as much as has been recommended by the Education Commission, and I entirely agree with the recommendations of the Commission in this regard. Therefore, there is a great deal of need for proper planning of higher education, and I hope that the Planning Commission will be taking up the matter in consultation with the Ministry of Education, the UGC, the state governments, and that this would depend on the tempo of economic development and change. Sir, looking at the clock, I am a little worried, but I would, if I may, take another 10 minutes to explain what the government is attempting to do in the field of primary education, which has been emphasized so much by many honorable members, and in my opinion, quite rightly, the focus was on the removal of illiteracy and giving primary education a new direction. Sir, the main point which we should all remember is that the present appalling figure of illiteracy has risen because we were unable to enroll all children in the age group of 6 to 11 in the primary schools, and even where we did succeed in enrolling them, they dropped off from schools. Unusually, after 1 year, if this had not been happening continuously over a large number of years, the present figure of illiteracy would not have been as high as it is today. If we make an analysis of those who are not yet going today to the elementary schools in the age group of 6 to 11 years, we will find that the greatest shortfall is among girls, among the scheduled castes, among the scheduled tribes, as the two honorable members quite rightly pointed out. Among those who want their children to add to the family income, therefore we have to provide for 110% enrollment, because that seems to be the objective, because there would always be in villages people who do not remember their ages, there would be some a little below if you would continue after that age, and then there would be shortfalls occasionally. And our statistics given by village schools are not correct. Stop and over.